What's up, everybody? It's your boy Demo the Warrior here, back with another Raw review. I just got done watching Raw like a minute or two ago, and I thought Raw was pretty good for the go home show. You know, WrestleMania is this Sunday, and I'm surprisingly pretty hyped for it. I know I said that WrestleMania was going to be a waste of money, and I mean, some matches you're like, yeah, I understand why it would be a waste of money. I wouldn't pay to see that match, but other matches you're like, oh, I gotta pay to see that. Like Undertaker versus Shane McMahon in a Hell in a Cell, dude, I would definitely pay to see that. Triple H versus Roman Reigns, however, I would not pay to see that. Um, yeah, I thought Raw was pretty good overall. Raw started off amazingly. You had Shane McMahon and the Undertaker start off Raw. Undertaker came out, started talking about Shane and Vince and all this, and then Shane came out. And they started talking about legacy, and then Undertaker called him a bitch, and then they started fighting, and then looked like Shane McMahon was about to take a last ride through the announce table. He reversed it, hit Undertaker in the head with the monitor, then did an elbow drop from the top rope to through the announce table. Undertaker was out, and I don't know if I'm the only person that noticed it, but it looked like Undertaker was like bleeding out of his eye or had a cut like right by his eye. Unless that was something else, I don't know. But yeah. Then the Undertaker would go on to no sell it and just sit up, and I was like, okay, Taker, whatever. Then it didn't really make sense. I was like, okay, so they're trying to make Shane look a little strong here, but then they're just gonna have Undertaker sit up, which didn't really make sense. But whatever. Um, yeah, you had a lot of good stuff on Raw. Pretty good matches. You started the first match, however, I was just like, why? Because you have this great moment with Shane and Undertaker. Then you go to fucking Zack Ryder. Zack fucking Ryder versus Chris Jericho. And I understand why they had the match, though, is to build up the Chris Jericho AJ Styles storyline. I get that, but why Zack Ryder of all people? I don't know, but yeah, AJ Styles calling Chris Jericho Y2 jackass, and then Chris Jericho getting mad. And he's like, "You want Jericho versus Styles WrestleMania? You got it." But started talking about I've been to, this will be my 12th WrestleMania, and this will be your first, and this is gonna be the worst night of your life, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, um, I think the match will be pretty good, even though we already seen the match 3 times. But I mean, anything could happen. Uh, yeah, there was a Divas match, which was Becky Lynch versus Charlotte, and I don't know why the match happened. I guess Sasha Banks versus Charlotte happened on SmackDown, and then it created controversy between Sasha and Becky Lynch, and I'm all hyped for the triple threat because, they're all NXT divas. They're amazing wrestlers, and I can't wait to see the match. It's just like, it's still the way they are being used in WWE is just horrible. They should be being used so much better than they are, and they're not. But like I said, that's what happens when you come up to the main roster. And once again, I'm not surprised. Um, yeah, I didn't really pay much attention to the match. I think Charlotte won. I'm not sure. I actually don't know. But yeah, you had a stupid ass fucking match. Big Show and Kane versus the Social Outcasts. Why on earth? I don't know. Bo Dallas and Adam Rose. Why in the hell? I don't know. For some reason, they're doing stupid ass shit to try to build up the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal when nobody cares about it anyway. It's gonna be on the pre-show. I'm not watching the pre-show. I only want to see the main card because WrestleMania is gonna be 6 freaking hours. Okay, I'm not gonna sit there and waste my time on a 2 hour pre-show that has the Andre the Giant Battle Royal with old fat guys and jobbers, and then have to sit through Kalisto versus Ryback. And it may not be that bad, but the idea of the match is just like, eh. Because, I mean, Ryback's kind of eh. but whatever. Yeah, and then they announced the another Warrior Award for the Hall of Fame. Some breast cancer survivor that I never heard of. I don't really care. I'm not trying to be mean. I just don't care. Um, then you had this backstage moment where, you know, the Dudleys and Triple H attack Roman Reigns, which I didn't really care about. Actually, before I forget, before that, like the Triple H and Stephanie were in the ring talking, and then to my joy, we'll just say this, okay? Roman Reigns' music hits. The most loudest and consistent boos I have ever heard on Raw. Every single time. I am not joking. Every single time Roman Reigns did something or Roman Reigns appeared, boos went across the crowd. I mean, damn. How bad did Roman Reigns get booed tonight on Raw? Jesus Christ, dude. And this is the guy that you're trying to push as the main babyface, and this is the guy that you think everybody likes. This is the guy that you're going to have win the main event of WrestleMania. You got me fucked up. But yeah, I know they're going to do that anyway. He's gonna beat Triple H at WrestleMania. It's pretty predictable. I mean, if Triple H wins, I will be surprised, but I already know Roman Reigns is going to win. Even though nobody wants him to win the title again, he's going to. Anyway, yeah, you had the Roman Reigns, Dudley Boyz, Triple H backstage thing, whatever. And Triple H was like, you're never going to have this. And I was like, Triple H, you already had it twice. Calm down. And anyway, you had another backstage thing where Shane McMahon, was talking to Vince McMahon. He's like, they're talking about the the match and taking control of Raw and all that stuff. And Shane McMahon was like, well, unlike you, you stole the company from your father. This Sunday, I'm taking it from you. And I'm thinking Shane's probably not going to win, even though I do want Shane to win because I do want changes. I do. But at the same time, they're putting the career of my favorite wrestler of all time, The Undertaker, on the line. And for me, it's just like, we're fucked. Because either The Undertaker is going to be done, or Shane McMahon will not take control and be the same old shit, you know? It's like, I want WWE to change and be better, and with Shane McMahon that can happen, but at the same time, Undertaker's my favorite of all time. He's the reason I started watching wrestling, okay? And if for me, it's just like, fuck. Like, just fuck. I don't know what else to say. And you had a funny New Day moment like you always had. The crowd was absolutely loving New Day. Like, that may be the best reaction I've ever seen New Day get. New Day was so over. You know, the crowd was reacting back and forth with everything they said, kind of like they do with the Rock segment, to be honest. I mean, I'm not putting it up there with the Rock segment, but it had that kind of back and forth flow with them, if you know what I mean. And then you had the League of Nations come out, and then it was Kofi Kingston versus Alberto Del Rio, and that happened, and Kofi Kingston won by a roll-up pin, and then, to everybody's surprise, Jonathan Coachman returned, and for a good we'll give it a good minute. And you know, he's talking about ESPN Sports Center be sponsored at WrestleMania or some kind of stupid shit. And then Jonathan Coachman started dancing, talk about bootios. I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah. And then you had trying to think. You had this one stupid match, which was the main event. Actually, no, you had another Divas match, and it was Emma versus, was it Paige? I don't fucking know. I don't remember. And I guess they're doing some kind of team. It's Naomi, Tamina, Summer Rae, Lana, and Emma versus Brie Bella, Natalia, Paige, fuck, I forgot who the other person is, and Eva Marie now. And to be honest, nobody really gives a fuck about that, or at least I hope they don't. Why should they? That match is gonna be the match where they're like, okay, take a break, go to the bathroom, take a shit, take a piss, get something to eat, grab some snacks, grab a drink. This is just a filler match. But whatever. It's kind of stupid. They're called Team Bad and Blonde or some shit like that. I don't know. I don't really care. And then Eva Marie came out and everybody was booing her so bad. And they have the right to, because she is like one of the worst women's wrestler ever. Okay. And she got booed almost as bad as Roman Reigns, to be honest. Yeah, then you had this moment with Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar. My second favorite moment of the show. Well, my third, because I kind of like the New Day moment a little more than that. But Paul Heyman came out and he's hyping up Brock Lesnar and all this for WrestleMania. Then Dean Ambrose comes out with a wagon and he just puts all these weapons in it. And the one thing that was stupid is the chainsaw from Terry Funk and the baseball bat with the barbed wire from Mick Foley were under the ring, and they're like, oh, those are the gifts from Terry Funk and Mick Foley to Dean Ambrose. I was like, well, why are they under the ring then if they gave it to him? Did he go out there and put it under the ring and then wait till Brock got out there and then it's like, oh, I gotta come get it? I don't. It didn't really make sense to me, but whatever. I'm hyped for their match because I know it's gonna be a good match, and Dean Ambrose needs the win. He needs the win. I understand that you got to make Brock look strong too, but Brock's been dominant for a long time. But this is the time where Dean Ambrose needs to get his push. He needs to get his win at WrestleMania. It seems like every opportunity Dean Ambrose has had, he just can't quite get there. If that makes sense, he's had championship matches, and he just can't seem to get the title. And this could be the one thing that helps Dean Ambrose getting a win over Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. That would really help him. And it would probably be the second best match on the card. None of the other matches are going to compare to Shane versus Undertaker, to be honest. Because it's the most hyped match. It's the biggest match of the card. They treat that match like it's the main event. Be honest, they're hyping that up more than they are Triple H versus Roman Reigns. Okay? They show promos for that match like fucking crazy. Okay? Then you had the stupid 6-man tag team match, which was the last match of the night. Actually, no, you had one match. I almost forgot. You had one match between fucking Connor from the Ascension and Kalisto, which no one gave a fuck about, and then Ryback came out, la 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 la, fuck, who cares? Anyway, then you had this pointless 6-man tag team match. It was Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, and Sin Cara versus Kevin Owens, Stardust, and The Miz, and the match was, I don't really care, it should be, like I said, motherfucking Kevin versus fucking Sammy, but I digress. I don't want to get mad about that anymore. Moving on to the last thing that happened on the show. Now, the Authority came out again to basically repeat what they did earlier. And, they're talking about la 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 la, the WrestleMania match, dreams, nightmares, all this shit. And then Roman Reigns' music hits, boos out the motherfucking building. Just boos, a sea of boos. Again, then Roman Reigns and Triple H start fighting. Then they try to recreate. What pissed me off is they try to recreate the Brock Lesnar Undertaker brawl from last year, like right before SummerSlam. And, where these two guys are brawling, and then they have to be separated because it's getting out of control. But, to be honest, that is never going to top the Undertaker versus Lesnar brawl. But that's pretty much my Raw review. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe.